How can I help you?
Just kind of a report card, what's my next path? Um still and I'm noticing the different the program thingy. I'm still on that balance beam, like, okay, I'm balanced over here, okay, I'm not balanced over here.
Yep.
So one of my things, um yeah, just some irritating things.
Okay.
And I'm like, why is this even irritating me? And then um the program came back up. I need to search for another job.
Okay. All right. So, in the past, you're a very dedicated, loyal person. You were in your one job for how many years?
At the hotel,
Yeah.
um 15, 16, 17, somewhere.
Okay. And you could see patterns, you could see conflicts, you could see all these things, and you had an opportunity to heal while you were working there, and then it was time for you to get another job. Is that correct?
Yes, but I had like probably 10 different part-time jobs along with that job.
Okay. So I'm looking through and you're learning to integrate. And so there's something that's stopping you from integrating in a particular way. So with that, this is going to sound strange, but with that, um, I wasn't ready. You do this to me, you do. I make your soul show up to say, "Oh yeah, you're ready to do the thing you're
I
ready to do."
volunteer.
I know you do. And again, I was not even going to talk about any of this probably for a good another month or two, but that's okay. I started to make my own medicine solution deck, and I got several of them. And so, with that in mind, um, I got to figure out how I'm going to communicate this. So this is we're just going to fling with it. Okay, so I'll pause probably here and there. Um, okay, what is it about this current job that you know that you're in a lot of alignment with? What can you say to some degree?
um it's just the little things. I guess it's people
You get
complaining.
okay, so you
That's
get
a
frustrated.
big thing. Well, because someone does something and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's crazy." I don't that right there, people use that word, and it's kind of a trigger word for me because I'm like, to me, crazy would be the whole street is on fire, not that the little trash can is on fire. The whole street, hundreds of houses are on. To me, that's the difference of crazy. People, oh, this little thing is on fire. Okay. And they're just,
Dramatic.
I don't know, dramatic berserk.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what?
so they're emotionally their communication is that it's very much a yang energy, and they don't have emotional regulation, or that is their dramatization of how they're meant to communicate. And I feel like this is a lot of to do with relations as well.
Mhm.
But I feel like the people that or the person or however it is, they're not really living as a spiritual being as much as, and you are aware that they're not, because I feel like in a way they talk through their face instead of, so they may be more of an ultra spiritualist that are just moving through the actions instead of actually working on themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that, but what I'm focusing on is, why do I have that reaction?
Right.
Because
That's what I'm looking.
I really pay attention to my language and I will even change it. So if we have clients that come into the spa and it's, you know, every hour on the hour someone's coming in, right? Well,
Right.
it can get a little busy if you're trying to clean 5 rooms at the same time people are coming in. So the they're like, "Oh my gosh, it was crazy." Okay, well, what happened? Oh, nothing. He, and I was like, "Oh, the schedule was full. You had a full schedule." Because that's what it was, a full
Right.
schedule.
Okay. So here's an interesting thing. Spirit has just pointed out. So you're at initiation point, an initiation point. So what I have here is like I said, I made my deck. One of the cards that came up is called the gate. This is a threshold, initiation, the next frequency. When I asked what it's about, it shows me in the soul body that it has to do with the soul light. And I said, okay, as you're speaking, before I could even look anything up, was when I saw these people in my old job that you had,
Hmm.
do you react differently than the job you have now? Because the way people, I feel like you seem to have more authority in this one, and then you were more of the underdog, while somebody else's energy was very dominant and would throw a drama. Do you see the difference? So if you were to
Yeah,
a old job and you saw that behavior, what would your reaction be?
I want to get out of this place.
But you didn't do it. You were there for years. Okay. But you didn't speak up, did you?
Sometimes it was just a waste of energy to say anything, but then
Right.
that put me into a and then I even had other coworkers. Well, why don't you say something back?
Okay.
And
So if you're in the hotel job and this is them, where were you when that would happen? Would you drop and they would have this? Can you feel the energy being hard and the environment wasn't healthy? Do you understand what I'm saying?
oh
In the
yeah. The
okay,
energy, it was all um just stuck feeling, ucky feeling.
okay,
And I even had new people that came in and they even said to me, "Oh, it's a totally different environment when you're not here."
right. So this person, these people in that old hotel job, who were they? Who did they remind you of when you were growing up? Can you see that behavior in your family growing up?
Probably just my stepdad.
Okay,
It's
so
that
let's
stupid nonsense talking.
okay. Now you lived with it. You did it for 15 years, and finally you're like, okay, had enough's enough, and you're able to get out and get a different job. Now you've been healing around it, but you're starting to see it in the other job, right? Now these people that the way they act, maybe they express it a little different, but you're still losing power to the way they react. Yes. So are
Yeah,
you here
last
or are
couple
you
of weeks.
here now? Where
Yeah.
are you in that relationship in the new job when they act this way? Are you here or here?
Well, it would be a lower vibration.
They are lower, but they can be more dominant, just like the other.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think do you have more of a voice in this job? Or are you still reacting and responding if not wanting to say too much?
No, I usually say, "Oh no, it wasn't crazy.
Now, were
The
you able to
schedule
say
is
that?
just full."
Right. Are you
Yeah.
able to say that in your old job?
Yeah, I probably could. She would have rolled her eyes and
Right. So you're getting stronger at having a voice and doing what you need.
mhm.
Now, could you ever see your ex being in that, you know, position of whining, drama, controlling?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are having this pattern that you need to begin to see. So the question is, you're seeing how they're reacting, but you can also see how you're still believing, giving away your power, and letting it
Mhm.
irritate you. Okay.
Mhm.
But you're
And
stronger than you were before.
yeah, and just sitting here and talking about it, it just heaviness just went like this on my head. It's
Very
like,
good. Very good. Now I'm going to find out this particular pattern. And what I want you to do is hold R1S. Okay. Now I'm going to talk for a few seconds while you're holding that, but I want you to feel the physical. And the reason why you, even if you got another job, you are waking up to this to say, oh, I don't want this in my world anymore, because it's so familiar. It so happens that you can't, no matter what you do, you're not going to get away from it, right? And why? Why? Well, you are meant to see this pattern because you were basically born into this pattern. You saw it, you felt it. You made the decision when you were young, from what I can see, is about 7 years old. And one of the things that you were indoctrined in was the language of keeping them around the homestead. Okay. And just feel and think about it. Measure it if you can.
Yeah, just sitting here thinking about it, I'm more aggravated.
Right. Because feel how you don't feel safe, secure, stable. There's no serenity. They're starting to feel like insanity, yes. And there's no freedom. So I want you to hear that there's this language. There's guilt, there's obligation, there's emotional dependency, there's guilt tripping, there's emotional hooks, there's fear, and there's a part of you that don't want to be abandoned. You heard this stuff growing up. The only way you could get your needs met was to be in the situation of saying that is what the language of love is. This is how I know things, right? So when people would be speaking, it seems familiar. So the attraction factor is this is familiar. Now you've had enough with it as being a spiritual person. You're like, I've had enough. But at the same time, you're going to keep being in alignment with it because it ends up being your false self's truth. These are the people I know. This is what they do. Would you recognize yourself if that wasn't in your space?
I don't know.
And
Like, well, this is so weird because right now I just feel like we've already been over this 100 times. I just want to get past this hurdle. Like, this is not the information I want to hear, Brenda. I want to hear what the next step is. I want to just jump over the log and go there. And then I'm thinking, why am I getting so angry with Brenda? Brenda's not doing anything.
very good, very good. So get back to the R1S because your personality, that particular personality, is trying to defend itself. It's not wanting to die.
Well, they don't have to die. They just got to go on vacation for a long time.
They need to just be integrated. Okay. But this personality was so important about how to survive in that environment. It is a fragment of who you are. And, you were at that initiation point where you want to integrate it. And this is where I'd call it, it's the gate. But on a soul body, it's about how can you, let in the soul, the light. Do you see the light?
I like waved.
Oh, that is funny. Okay, I gotta get this out of here. You know what? I had that so perfect too. Oh, good job. I don't know how that fell. It was tacked in there really well. Okay, that would thank you, Spirit. But feel that that's your identity. You are healthy and strong. I don't want that identity. That identity says, no, no, no. I know how to protect me. Oh,
Right.
I don't like that. Okay. But
Hmm.
use that spiritual being that's going to go, I love you. And you were smart enough to say it out loud and smart enough to be able to say, it has a language. Right. You want me to just fix it, but it's not my job to fix. It's part of that growth. And so when I asked Spirit, I said, so I grabbed these cards, and what's this really about with her? Because it's about the job, because the question is about the job. And, there's a part of you that needs to reclaim your authority and not just tolerate the misalignment. You want to
Hmm.
move towards clarity, which you're like spiritual, like, yeah, I'm all for that. But your ego just showed itself to you. So you can really look and go, oh my God, there it is. And you're like, but I can't let it completely dissolve because I don't know if I have the skill. So you're not quite sure of yourself.
Hmm.
But you're getting prepared to transist out of that lower frequency. You no longer fit it,
Hmm.
but you haven't decided to really take the energy off it. And that is where you are going to be holding the R1S and hearing the language that you're supposed to take offense to, that you're supposed to get. Why? Because that identity says that's what happened and that's who I am. I am this fragment. And you're like, but that's not necessarily true. Okay. So then I drew the soul body card. And the soul body card is saying that we're looking at the original blueprint, and it's looking at the karmic stories, the pre-incarnation agreements, maintaining your frequency integrity, and it's supposed to help regulate alignment versus misalignment. But it's kind of not doing its job. It's not doing its job because there are there are four particular things that I found that I continuously teach, and with the tools helps you to go through these stages, and the last stages in the soul body where you're meant to feel this integration. But instead, because you're misaligned with your soul body, you feel detached, irritated, and done. But this fragment of who you are, says, I don't want to engage any more of that. I don't want any more of that.
Yeah, it wants to check out and go find something new.
And notice that that is the pattern that kept you safe. You can hear how it wanted to argue and take offense, and then it wanted to be safe. But where did it, how much energy did it invest into, oh, I hear those people, how they behave? That's unacceptable. I don't like it. Now, when you were a little girl and you saw and heard people in your environment, I don't like that. I'm never going to
Mhm.
behave like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to become the little girl and
Hmm.
look at your family and feel how much that bothered you. Oh, look at her. Oh, she
Yeah.
just showed herself.
The little 5-year-old with my great aunt telling
Yeah.
me, you're not supposed to sit on the chair like that.
And feel how this authority that the complaining, and that you're supposed to, and you're like, okay, that was scary. Now you develop this other, and it's like, F off. But just feel the wound, feel the wound.
Yeah,
Okay.
because even when I was 5, I was like, because most adults love me. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, come here, sit on my lap, give me a hug or whatever, And then that aunt was like, that's not ladylike. And all I felt was hate and anger from her.
Yeah, you can feel that resistance, the vector, the intensity, the direction. And that's when you start to develop this personality of, I don't like her. I don't like that. And now take out that energy that they're sending and push it out and put it in the treasure chest. Take back your power because you have to defend yourself. But she took something from you, she squashed something in you.
When I was like visually gathering up the energy or whatever, and then I said I'm taking mine back, I saw like a purple crystal coming back to me.
Okay, good, good. because I pulled another soul body card, and it says the ascension in reverse is that you hit the plateau, stagnation, resisting evolution. Notice that this one, this identity is, I'm going to stay stubborn. I'm not going to evolve. You couldn't hold your ground when she was standing there, but you can when you're inside. Okay. Now take back your power and give it to yourself. And look at how you feel like, ah, just feel it. Just feel it. In relationships, feel it. Take back your power and take off their ickiness and put that in the treasure chest. Take off their ickiness. Measure it. See if there's any numbers left.
It's just a 2, 3.
Okay. Now, ego goes, that's okay. You can leave it. No, it's sneaky. Because this is about you wanting to integrate so it doesn't have to feel, and the attraction factor is to attract these people in. Now notice that they cross the territory, your healthy boundary, placing themselves. What do I mean by placing themselves?
Just
Notice
making that their voice is louder than mine, or they're higher than I am.
notice how you're convinced that you have to be passive, that you have to obey, that you have to, they're right, no matter what. But they invaded your territory. It wasn't wanted, it was thrown in your space. Feel how like it wants to keep coming back, because feel this explosion. So now you're going to imagine that you've gone to work and people are going, doing their thing. Feel how your aura sucks that in and goes, oh my God, this is just like so and so. I can't handle it then and I can't handle it now. And your spirit self goes, what do you mean I can't handle it? Right there, feel that feeling. Yeah, it really gets to you. Yeah. You can measure that. And then notice the little girl going, but I got a police because I know that's wrong. I got a police. I know.
I've also have awareness and notice, like, when you're walking super fast, like you go into the grocery store and someone's waiting for you out in the car, and so then you like walk super super fast and then your whole body's tensing up. I notice if I do that, my whole body is like, "Arr!" Like it doesn't want to move. It's like, nope, stop, take a deep breath, one small step, walk slower, and that's been like, I don't know, an alarm or whatever. Hey, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Very
And then
good.
my whole body's like tensing up because I'm like walking super fast or trying to hurry or trying to do 50 things at one time.
Yep, yep. So feel that arrested development just melt. And you're like, yeah, no, I don't have to do this automatic response. And I want you to feel how, notice the feeling or the thought, and then your body starts to go in there and just catch it. Just catch it right now. And just hold it about how it goes. I feel relaxed and I'm feeling intense. Okay. Just keep thinking and feeling. Move up to L2D, because you have to exert your power to do what they want. And that's just an auto response. Okay. But feel how it is very aggressive. It feels like they're going to be aggressive, or because you're like, I've had the consequences before. And I've learned as a little girl that if I do this, then I can protect myself, which is what? Hurry, thing that you said, oh, this works. I want you to address her logical, illogical way of surviving and saying, but we are older now. Have a conversation with her. Wow. Keep going. So while you're thinking that, notice how she had to protect herself. She had to minimize their voice. She had to rationalize. She had to deny that that's wrong. No, you can't do that. So you're doing the shadow avoidance. Your shadow saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to integrate. I don't want to become like them. Did you hear how they talk? No, I'm rejecting that. I'm denying that I do that. And I have to minimize the fact that they're emotional. And that's wrong. So you're looking at this conditioned personality pattern of shadow avoidance. You're just like, no, no. But notice how it was important to develop the shadow to survive. Feel how it's like, yeah, but I don't want to let it go. But if you stop minimizing their voice and notice that that's how they yangfully or they because they pour outward where you go inward and you're like, but that's wrong. How do you know it's wrong? Because my 5-year-old says so. But holding space for another. So, yes, they may be bleeding, but you also can just hold space without losing power. And as you build that spiritual immune system, you will learn that it's okay for them to have a voice and that you can actually can teach them, not teach them by teaching them a lesson, but by going, holding that support and then saying, calling it what it is. Oh, so you mean it's this? Okay, okay, I got you. But being empathetic,
Discernment,
discernment. Good.
discernment on their voice.
Mhm. And it's, good because you were denied so much to have feelings. That's one of the things you picked up from the shadow that said, oh, I can't be this.
And
So that
forgiveness on myself for doing the best I could with the knowledge that I had.
exactly, but exactly because your cognitive skills wouldn't have been developed, and so you only could do what you understood the best way you can. But you don't have, so notice how you keep repeating the story as you age with
Mhm,
people and get that little girl to understand that she did no harm, she did no wrong, she did that to survive. And she's like, but I keep seeing it, I keep seeing it. But the soul is saying, can we resolve it now? She minimized your voice. She basically said you don't have a voice and your behavior I don't like, and I'm going to teach you how to have one, and I'm going to make sure you, and it
mhm,
bothered you. And so you took off your beautiful self, hid yourself, put up a shadow. This is the only way I get protected so they won't hurt me anymore, is that I police, that I do this. If you're going to minimize me, I'm going to minimize you. Now, you wouldn't do it outwardly, per much, you learn to do it inwardly, but then that starts to hurt you
mhm.
because it creates this separation. Okay, where are you at?
The right side when I look up is a 0, but when I look to the left, it's a 1.
Okay, so let me just look at this. All right, so we're going to look in the middle of the conflict. Well, the conflict is I won't do it. I need to protect myself. And yet at the same time, I'm going to have you look to the upper left and remember whatever image comes up. Remove, transcend, and let go. Now drop down to the lower right and feel the feelings. This is, I have to have that to protect myself. You had a fresh experience at work. Okay, so now you look to your lower right, and the feelings are saying, I remember this happening when I was a kid. So remove, transcend, let go. Now I want you to go back up to the upper left and say, do you need to hold on to that memory to protect yourself?
No.
All right, so remove, transcend, let go. Now look to the lower left and listen to your inner dialogue just for a moment. Tell me what you hear.
Nothing.
Very good. And you don't have to argue with yourself. You don't have to protect yourself. You don't have to see the enemy. Is that correct?
Correct.
Remove, transcend, let go. Go back up to the upper left. What number is there?
0.
All right. Now you can take your hand down, and what I want you to do is to tap on, take your hand, and I want you to tap. Which one do I want her to tap? I want you to tap L5. Okay. It's right there, at the waist, right in the back. And you're going to be tapping on that while you're thinking of, I'm self-conscious. I'm self-conscious. Now, you could be self-conscious that you're embarrassed, or you can be conscientious that you have to do the right thing. So there's two type of consciousness type things that are happening. So remember, L5 is down by the waistline, that down here in the back. Okay, do you want her to do any other spot? Yes, we're going to do one more spot again, but this time you are going, get down from that angle, because this is they cross the territory, because you literally felt them cross the territory and their energy was been in your space. And as you started to pull that out, now we're going to tap, but I want you to just imagine that their energy is still there. Pull it out further and put it in the treasure chest. Keep pulling it out. Now I want you to feel like you called your energy back. What color is coming back? Because you believed it was true. Just take your power back and put the color back into that area of your spine.
I got orange and purple that time.
Good, good, good. Keep putting it back into your body. Now you can be done tapping, and let me just look again. That is very good. The body's like going, I feel a little relieved. You may want to just massage those areas, the little pockets back there next to your spine, and just give it a good massage. And I'm going to look at this. So, these are all done in stages. And that's very good. It's just, so now I'm just looking at something to do with your fear body so the fear body says this is where compassion dissolves the shadow. So this is where you're going to have to start saying, thank you, spirit. Because the moment you start to feel your personality begin to pop up, I want you to start doing R2D, because it swears to God the piece is gone. But you don't want to reinstall it. But you then can say, thank you, spirit, and have compassion. Where did I get compassion, or where didn't I get compassion? And what does compassion giving? So this is part of your spiritual investigation about that word. And how would you, so when you grow up and you start having compassion for another, what's it going to look like? Because if you choose to grow up in understanding about compassion, then all of a sudden you don't have to look through that lens and say that you have to police this. So they're emotionally dysregulated. I'm going to, because you're doing your treble basics, you're going to present the energy, the keys and the codes that, how about if we look at it this way? Because when you heal, different words will appear so you can communicate better. Is this correct? Have you had that experience before?
Say it again.
When you heal the negative and all of this, then the words that you had change and you actually speak words that
Yes.
you never thought you
Yes.
spot. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. So good. You're witnessing the fact is that your soul is getting better at integrating and having
Yes.
discipline.
And my awareness, because I feel that I do have compassion because I can see how people are in a program and
Yeah.
then this little thing, it keeps like knocking me out and I'm like, what are you?
Right. So
Like,
now we understand what it is, though. And
yes.
it's just a program, it's a conditioned program. And as we begin to heal these specific spiritual issues, then you're going to be able to progress further because I feel like the body then will stop forcing you to go into, hey, this is the way we have to feel, this is the way we have to act. And you're going to go, yeah, no, no, personality, we don't really need to do that. So your spirit becomes more in charge. Well, thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming on. And I know, and again, the way you know, like, hey, I know you got something new there. ah, I notice it's just like just with you. Well, there's maybe a few, but it seems like it's consistent. I'll pull up something new and I'll really get it on paper, and then all of a sudden you present something. Spirit goes, she's asking for the thing you just did, and you're like, oh. Hey, I know. I think I did pretty good with it though. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. It's good to see you, and maybe we'll see you in Tribal tomorrow. And thank
Yes.
you, Spirit, for helping you grow and then
Yes.
just kind of realign. And maybe the job doesn't need to disappear.
Right.
All
Yes.
right.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. We'll talk to you later and
All right.
tomorrow. Bye, hun.